There we go. So Tobin's is in D major, so we should definitely warm up with a D major, and we'll do a few things in D major. And I was thinking we should do a minor scale, and I don't know if we have. Have we done any
Yeah,
minor scales? We
we did
did.
an E at one point a
E.
long time ago.
Perfect. Perfect. So E minor is a great way to start because that's the road to Liston is in E minor, and many many tunes are in E minor. So that's a great way to start. But first of all, we'll start with D major. We'll get that really happening here. I'm going to get my tuner out, and we'll be really picky about the whole thing. I got to make sure I'm in tunes. I haven't done a lot of playing today. There we go. And there's Heather. That's great. Full house. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So we'll start with our D major scale. Hi, Heather. We're playing D major. Brace yourself. Okay. Oh, there's Heather. Hi, Heather. How you doing? We're gonna do D major now.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah. Take your time. This is Celtic music, not meant to be in a hurry, unless you are in a hurry. But that's with tempo. Okay, so nice D major scale, best one we can possibly do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, now I gotta say I did pretty good there. I don't know how you guys feel about yours, but I think I did pretty good. Let's do it again, see if I was fluking. Ready, go. still did good. Maybe not quite as good. There was a couple I fixed a tiny bit, but other than that, I did good. How did you guys do? Feeling okay about D? Okay, let's up the game. Let's do it faster. Same thing, but faster. And we'll see if it still stays in. That's the whole point, just to see if it still stays in. So kind of like that, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. How's it feeling? Still good? Okay, great. Let's take a look at Tobin's. All right, Tobin's. Interesting. So that's going to be in fiddle. Just got to make sure I get the right version. I got a few on my computer here. A few Tobins. Yeah, gotcha. Here we go. Okay. Great. Tobin's favorite. Starts out with the big D major arpeggio. So we're in good shape for it because we just finished practicing the D major arpeggio. Should be perfect. Now let's not go fast for now. We'll take her nice and cool to start off with because we just did it. So let's see. Well, how fast should we go? That should do it. Let's see how we get along at that tempo. Ready, go. Do it again. All right. Tobin's favorite. How did everybody do with that tempo? Good? No problems? That's great. You know what that means. Go faster. Let's see. How fast should we go? Because that was
Um,
slow. That was like a
um,
snail's pace.
Dan, could I ask you when you do the trill on that F
Hmm.
sharp, is it on this that's like a dotted half note. So do you put it on the second beat or the
Yeah.
third beat? The
Basically the second beat. So I let an eighth note of the note go by, and then I do the ornament.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So the rhythm of the roll, it's called a roll, and the rhythm of it is yum diddly yum.
Yum diddly yum. Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
That's how a roll goes. So very important to play the note for an eighth note. I was just talking with somebody about that yesterday, like because otherwise it just doesn't sound right, and it kind of interrupts the rhythm of the tune as well. So
Okay.
and the whole thing takes a dotted quarter note to go by the time you're done.
Okay. Very good. All
Okay,
right.
and
Yeah.
how was
Thanks.
the grace note?
I put it in and I'm going to have to play it faster. Like
Ah, yeah,
to squeeze it in a little bit more quickly.
absolutely, it's a good
Yeah.
idea. Okay, well let's do it then. So let's see. That's a trot. Let's see if we can do that. Yes, helmets on. Okay, one, two, three, go. Let's do it again. One more time. How was the speed there, ladies? Did it work out okay? Oh,
That was
good. What's that?
that was harder.
Harder. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Now, for
Right.
your records, I'll tell you how fast it was. So, him. Dee da dee 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 dee. I think it was 60. Let me just check here. Yeah, that was about 60. Okay,
And for a laugh, what should it be played at?
for a laugh. About 114. That's dance tempo. Okay, I'll show you what it sounds like. Okay. It was interesting the point that Bill was making last night in the orchestra, because his daughter's a violinist, about metronome markings. How it never goes the way you expect. Like even along the bottom of the zoom here for the ones that you can choose, you got 69, 72, 76, 80, 84, 88, 92, 96. So, and Jennifer was saying that she never goes up like one notch at a time. It's always either 3 or 5 at a time that she moves up, which is really interesting. And she's not the only person I know that does that. So I'm not really sure how that works, but it is true. It's very interesting. Anyway, I'll show you what it sounds like when you play it up at tempo. It sounds, in general, faster. See how that induces dancing. You have no choice. And I like what the Irish say, you know, the way they put it. When you play something too fast, they'll often say, I think I would have taken a little bit more time with that one. Now, let's get out the Road to Liston-Vorna, and I want to think about the E minor scale. So, Road to Liston-Vorna. Oh, maybe we should have one more go at the fast. Yeah, let's do one more go at the slightly faster with the Tobins. One more go to fix anything that went wrong in the last one. So that was 60. So let's put it up to, say, 70 and see what happens here. So just show you what that sounds like. Okay, we'll try it like that. 1, 2, 3, go. was a clip. Oh my God. How'd you guys get along? Not as good? Bound to be not as good when you're trying to go fast like that, but that's okay. Just try to make note of
I
what.
find when we go faster that I really know where I need to practice, because there's when you have those crossings, I'm finding I have to think a little bit too much, and then everything's finished before I can actually play it. So
We have no time to think in our music.
No. Oh.
We've taken the thinking out of it a long hundreds and hundreds of years ago. We took the thinking out of it.
That's fun.
You could have a lobotomy and play this music. My kid didn't know what a lobotomy was. I can't remember how it came up, but I had to explain. And it's really hard to explain to a kid what a lobotomy is. Really hard. She kept saying, why? Why would you do that? It's a very good question. Anyway, this is why. So you can play reels and jigs fast. You get your lobotomy there. You remove your prefrontal cortex and let your fingers do the walking. Okay, so before we do Road to Liston-Varna, we're going to take a look at the E minor scale and arpeggio, because that's what key we're in here. We're in E minor. Now, the only difference is that Road to Liston-Varna, although it says D major on the music, it's not in D major. I don't know who put D major on there. But it's in, the reason that it says D major is there's two sharps in the key signature. But this is what they call, I think, Mixolydian mode. So that's E minor, but it has a C sharp. E minor normally only has one sharp, F, but in this case it has a C sharp as well. So I think that's Mixolydian mode. I'm not really positive. But anyway, so that's the only difference. So it's basically in E minor. So we're going to practice an E minor scale, which is starting a scale on E, and we play one sharp. We're not going to worry about the C sharp in the scale, because it's not really typical of an E minor scale. We'll deal with it in the tune. But right now, let's try an E minor scale. So we're going to start on E, go all the way up to high B, and all the way down to low B. Okay? Here's your E to start off with. And spend some time tuning that note, because it's not an easy note to hear. Okay, let's do it. Ready? Go. Okay, mine went pretty well. Let's just do it again right away. Same thing. Here's your E. Ready, go. Okay, mine still was good. Hopefully yours was too. Now the arpeggio. We'll start with the low B, and then it's going to be E. So we'll start with the low B on the G string. Ready? Go. Then E, G, B, E, G, high B. Yeah. Okay, let's do that again now that we figured it out and it's comfy. We'll do it right away again. Here's your beat. Okay, ready? Go. How are we feeling with the arpeggio? It's a little different. The minor one is a little different to tune, but is it going okay? Okay, let's pick up the pace. We're going to do scale and then arpeggio just a little bit faster. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. I nailed everything there, but my high B was so sharp I cut myself. How did you guys do? Did it stay in okay? Okay, we'll go with it for now. So, Road to Lisdoonvarna. So we got to kind of remember it. Been a while since we tried to do it. Can't remember if we played it last week. I don't think we played it last week. So, anyway, let me play it for you so you know what it sounds like. It's a slide. So you might notice on the music how there's, for a jig, there's a lot of quarter note followed by an eighth note. More than usual, because most jigs are, mostly eighth notes, but this one is quarter notes and eighth notes, so that's a slide. So, and you'll see that it's written out in 12/8. That's another indication. Now, slides are jigs, but faster. They're Irish dance music from for square dancing down at the southern tip of Ireland. And so the real speed for this one would be... like that. Okay, that's the... So if you played it for a Kaylee, that's how fast you'd have to play it. Because they're hopping around like you wouldn't believe with slides. And they do this slide thing where they actually slide their foot across the floor to get into the middle. So it's kind of cool, very common. We won't go that fast. Let's go kind of like... The thing is about the structure of it, it sounds fast, but if you look at it, it's not very complicated. There's lots of long notes, and so it's really not that hard to play fast, which is, I think, why it got so fast over the years. So let's see, how fast should we do it? That should work. Let's give that a try anyway. We'll do it a couple of times here. 1, 2, 3, go. One more. All right, how did we do with that tempo? Was it okay? Any problems? Yeah, it was all right. Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, we were talking a little bit last time about what tune should go first. And as I was playing it there, I was thinking that I think that it might be good to go into the Tobins after this one, because this is not the greatest finisher. Whereas Tobin's, so it's made for a finisher, that one. So I think we'll do that. So we'll do Road to Listenvorna first, and then the Tobins. Now let's try Road to Listenvorna one more time, just to correct anything that may have gone wrong last time we played it, and then we'll think about the pickup note. Well, actually, there's really not much of a pickup note, but we'll suss that out. So first of all, let's just try her again. Road to Listenvorna. Drink some water. And we'll do it. All right. Dum dee die die die. 1, 2, 3, go. Well, that looked like it went just fine. So when we're going to join them together, this one's very simple. Like I said, there's no pickup note because the Tobin starts right on beat 1, and this tune ends with a great big long E. So we basically just play it out till the end. See how that works? Now, like I said, slides can be played faster than jigs because they're simpler. And I just realized that the Road to Listenvorna tempo, if we tried to do Tobin's at that tempo, it's pretty fast. See that? I don't think we got up that fast. Let me just check. Yeah, that's like 80. Whoa! Yeah, that's about 80. So that's the thing about slides. So let's split the difference here. We tried it at 70 and it worked out okay. So let's try playing the whole set at 70. Dum dee di dee di di dee di di dee. That's so slow for a slide, but that's okay. We have nothing else on this evening. So anyway, yeah, a very simple transition. So let's do 2 and 2 and see how she goes. Road to Liston Vorna, followed by Tobin's. So now I'm going to put the metronome on, because otherwise I'm going to speed up, because I come from a long line of speeder-uppers. My brother's the worst, for sure. So, dum dee di dal di dal di. 1, 2, 3, go. Here we go. How did it all go? I stuck to that metronome like glue so we wouldn't go too fast. How did you guys find it going into the jig? Did it work? It worked? That's great. Very good. And the transition was okay? No problems there? Excellent. Okay, so really, there's nothing really in the way of us going a bit faster.
No.
Or we could try it again at the same tempo. That might even be a better idea. That's what we'll do. We'll do it. And I'll stick to that metronome again like glue.
But that was a nice transition. It was
It's
like it's
great. It's kind of made
one.
for it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big E, and that's how you make transitions. Like, well, first of all, I love key changes. In Cape Breton, they kind of have a habit of putting everything in the same key in a set. Isn't that right, Elaine? Like from one end to the other. Like, think of all the tunes you can think of in the key of D. And then somebody will shout out another key. I remember I was playing a few tunes one time in Cape Breton with my father and my brother and Father Francis Cameron from up the road. And we were doing a set and we were playing in B flat and we got done. And he stood up and he said, "Oh my goodness, boys, we should go to the woods in a cabin and play B flat for a whole weekend." But I like key changes. I think they're nice. So that's one of the things when you're making a set is a nice key change. And I think going from D minor into D major, E minor into D major is really nice because first of all, you get a lift because it's going from minor to major. So that gives you a lift already. But the cool thing is that it's also a drop. So you're finishing the E minor tune with a great big E, and then you got to drop a step to start in D major. So it's kind of a drop and a lift at the same time. And there are lots of sets that have that quality that you can do that with the key change to make that drop and a lift, or the other way around, a lift and a drop. You know, there's lots of those examples. Or going to the relative minor, that's a big one. So you're playing a tune in the key of G, and the next one you do is in E minor. They have the same key signature, but it changes the context. It's really cool. Okay, let's try it again. Same tempo. Dum dee diddle diddle die. 1, 2, 3, go. Here we go. a great set. Really good set. It's cheerful. Positively cheerful. Now, any problems? Anybody want to describe to me their problems and tribulations playing this set at this speed?
Just catching on to the last bar in the second and fourth line of Tobin's, because I've only marked in a couple of notes, so I'm having to read the music. So it's just that learning curve there.
In the last bar?
The last bar of the
Tobin's.
second and fourth line of Tobin's. Yeah.
The last bar. So that is the EDCD. EDCD. And what it is, so it sounds like Bill Clinton. What it is, it's just a little scale, right? So, like, I think of it as in terms of fingers. So it's the E string and then 3, 2, 3 on the A string. You know what I mean? And that's a classic little move there. You do it all the time, that little, half step move. Da da da. So that might help. So you don't have to kind of read it. You can just remember 3, 2, 3. Anybody else have anything like that? That's a good point. Yep.
I'm having, it's a matter of practice, I guess, but getting the ups.
Yeah. In which tune? The road? Yeah. So let's see about that. Now I don't do all of the ups. Like I shouldn't say that. They're not all ups, but there is a few. Let me see.
So
Yeah. Now, one good way to get that, if you're talking about the second part there, is to realize that it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can just do it and hope that your fingers follow along. So that's long, so long bow, long bow, so. Or the other way. See that? They're each bar you bow exactly the same way, and it might help because you might get some of them.
yeah, okay.
And just realize that this tune is a bit like it's a slide, so it's a little bit different. There's a lot of them in there.
Yeah.
You don't normally have to do that many, but it's a good one to practice for it. Anyway, let's try one more time. One more time. Same speed, no faster at all, I swear. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. right. That's that. So practice that. That's 70. 70 was our tempo for tonight. So practice it all week at 70. Don't even bother going faster. And next time we're going to try it faster. Okay? That's the dealio. We'll see you guys. Just make sure I'm okay for next Thursday, but I think I am. Not going away until the 26th. So, let's see here. 23rd? No. Not okay for next Thursday. We have a gig at Enoch Turner Schoolhouse in Toronto, and it's some kind of a thing with a brewery. So I don't know what you're doing next Thursday, but sounds like fun. Enoch Turner Schoolhouse. So no class next week or the week after, because I'm coming back from Ireland. So our next class will be November 6th. Alrighty? Yeah, couple of weeks there. Practice all your stuff. We'll see you in November. See you guys.